Thank you for welcoming me onto your screens, onto your headphones, depending on how you're watching this. I'm Eddie, and this is The Rollback. Folks, I'm here to talk to you today about Totally Killer, aka Back to the Scream? Like a weird mishmash of the two, and it kind of fits, except, what if your parents were douchebags? Yeah. So, Totally Killer stars Kierina Shipka. I know I'm mispronouncing her first name. Her last name I know is proper. As Jamie Hughes, and I'm willing to put money down right now that that's a reference to John Hughes. Anyway, so she's a teen living in modern day America. Her mother is the sole survivor of a, not massacre, but like all her friends were killed when she was in high school except for her. And the killer is back to finish the job. That's how the film opens. Then Jamie finds herself in a time travel machine, goes back to the 1980s and decides to prevent the killings so that her mom will feel better, hopefully, but also to save her mom's life because she gets killed at the beginning. And she figures, if I can beat the killer now, her mom will be fine in the future, which, fair enough, stakes aside. This movie is oddly, fun, stylized, gory at times, action-packed at times, but also, never wears out its welcome. It's this weird mishmash fuse of genres that somehow works. It's not a black comedy, it's not over-the-top comedy, but there's still funny parts. Most of the funny parts being, when you make fun of the 1980s. I'll reference one point. She kind of makes a reference to, hey, I got the killer's blood, you can run his DNA, and the cops say, the fuck is DNA? Stuff like that. I'll give her this. The actress who plays Jamie, she fucking runs with it. She plays the straight man to everyone's comedy, and it fucking works. You make fun of the times also, but not just that. The way she endears herself, the way she tells them, she doesn't tell them she's from the future because that sounds crazy. So you know what sounds more likely? She's psychic, and she has this crystal that shows her things, which, it's funny because as an adult you think this is dumb, but as a teenager you're like, oh, that makes sense, she can see the future. Stupid shit like that. They also have the great twist where it's kind of like Back to the Future, where she goes to save her parents and she meets them in high school, except what if your parents were douchebags who would never be friends with you when you're in high school because you're a loser? Yeah, it's kind of a fun question to ask. Would you be friends with your parents if you were in high school at the same time? I'm willing to put money no, but y'all do you. That said, this film, again, great comedy, great story. A lot of the comedy also comes not just from the main actress, also the supporting cast. They're all a bunch of fun characters-ish. The mystery is never really who the killer is, but more or less can you survive him, which I think is interesting in that aspect, although I would have been curious to have seen what would have happened if it was more of a central role. Maybe there were two killers instead of one. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Another great aspect of this film that I really actually enjoyed was the fact that there are consequences. When people die in this film, it sends ripple effects into the future as far as what happens and what causes things. At one point, because the order is wrong and they die, they get downstream memories where you remember what it was before, but now there are new facts that you understand to be fact. It's an interesting subject. It's an interesting topic. The killer, again, is not who you expect, or killers. You never know. Like I said, Scream, back to the Scream. One of the great parts about this film is the fact that you get to see the 1980s through a modern day lens. Stuff like, I mentioned the DNA already. The mom smoking in the vehicle with her kids. Shit that would not happen today. Jamie gets dropped off at the school in the 80s and she's just smoked out in the car. The nicotine just going straight into those lungs. Things like that were normal in the 80s don't really fly today. And it's kind of funny to see that stuff now, or back then. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. This movie is lighthearted and fun, solid comedy, but also consequences. Namely being when Jamie gets back to the future, a lot of things have changed, including her name. Colette? I think that's her new name, Colette. Anyway, that said, this film is an A for me. A lot of fun, a lot of enjoyable things to be had in this film. It is available streaming right now on Amazon Prime, I believe. Go ahead and watch it and let me know what you think. Comment down below, we'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll catch you all later. We'll see everyone.